My dearest friend, I pray this missive finds you in good health and high spirits. It has been some several days since you and Master Alfino embarked upon your journey to the west, having learned of the impending Dravonian invasion. Of course, I have no way of knowing when these words will reach you. Mayhap these troubled times will be but a distant memory when they do. I realize the matters of great import command your attention at present, but when I looked to the distant skies the other day and found myself praying for your safe return, I felt compelled to put pen to paper. Do forgive me this indulgence. Well then, what to write? I would ordinarily ask if you had been enjoying your time in Ishgard, but given the circumstances of your coming and your subsequent embroilment in yet another battle not your own, mayhap it were better that I did not. I imagine it is by now altogether too familiar a tale. Even so, it pains me to say that it is distressingly easy to imagine you fighting to the bitter end regardless. Nevertheless, I cannot deny that it filled my heart with joy to see you finally set foot in our fair city. The thought that I would be able to witness your daily feats of heroism firsthand was quite simply, well, let us say that I was tremendously grateful for it. And the idea that I might once more fight by your side seemed no less thrilling. Ah yes, I have been meaning to say, I do hope my likely misguided decision to name your home away from home the falling snows did not grate. Oh, it was but my artless attempt to raise your spirits. When you sought us out in your hour of need, and I saw firsthand how utterly despondent Master Alfino was, I knew at once that I must do everything in my power to help you to preserve the dawn's light, be it as a friend with a jest or as an ally, which is why I resolved to petition my father on your behalf. It was, to be frank, no easy thing for me. Lest you mistake my meaning, my father is an honorable man, good and true. Doubtless that is why my late mother fell in love with him. Mayhap that is also why she thought it best to leave the family service, that in doing so she might help preserve his reputation, though she ultimately chose to place me in his care. He loved her, of course, as I am sure he loves me, and I him, though we rarely speak of such things. But then our conversations are invariably rather brief. Mayhap that is why I chose to become a knight. Alas, my father was firm in his refusal, for although he had supported our shared endeavors with Revenant's Toll and the Scions in the past, providing safe haven for want to fugitives was another matter altogether. Still I persisted, prompting my father to ask what could possibly have driven me to fight so fervently on your behalf. And so I told him of the woman who had unexpectedly come into our lives, a bright, shining paragon of virtue, whose very presence drove others to be better than themselves. I told him that this woman, this cherished friend of mine, was a hero. Lies and slander be damned, and that as her friend, it was only right that I help her. Looking back, it may well have been the longest conversation we had ever had. Afterwards, he simply stared at me in silence for what felt like an eternity. And then when I had all but resolved to take my leave, he told me he would give me his answer on the morrow. The rest, you know. Thanks to you, and indirectly my father, I have come to appreciate my visits to the manor all the more. You are rarely there, of course, given your propensity for disappearing off on grand adventures, but I forgive you on the grounds that most are undertaken on our behalf. Truly, your famously calm disposition notwithstanding, I suspect, given the right encouragement, you would have some decidedly colorful observations to share. I should be honored to lend an ear someday, mayhap over a drink. My dearest friend, in whom I trust without hesitation, without doubt, come what may, I know you will strive on. You will strive, and in the end you will triumph. On this journey and the next, and the next, and the next. And when you have fought the good fight, only to find yet again that it is not enough, I will be there. This I promise, this I swear. Beyond darkest night waits a new dawn. I pray you greet her with a smile. Your friend, Haurchefant Greystone.
One of the servants were supposed to give us this when we were visiting the grave at the end of it. But when they saw us smile, they believed we got the message about it.